How's it going? Oh, you're at home.
Yeah, I'm at my place
Beautiful.
looking at how to earn $500 million by writing.
Well, listen, you have to start small. You have to start $500 a day. So right now I'm making $500 per poem. So if I could just think of another poem, that's like $1,000. You are listening to Two Friends, Two Poems, the podcast where friends read poems to each other just to see what happens. I'm Tom, and this was my idea. Today, we hear poems by Julie Carr and William Shakespeare. Paul reads his poem, The Theory of Every, and Tom gets greedy with two of his own, Silent Subway Bit and Breakup Song. I'm not going to record an outro, so just pretend I'm saying all that stuff about supporting the show and live your life. Don't forget to write a poem. Okay, it's time to enter the verse. It for me, it's the first repeat poet. My guest poet
Hmm.
is someone that has joined us before, and I wanted to invite William Shakespeare back onto the podcast.
Oh, wow, you got shaky here again.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he was available, but he's here. He brought one, hot off the quill.
He's the original $500 a day poet.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm excited to hear
Yeah,
from.
I well on notforyou.com they have the Shakespeare business plan, and I almost have enough to enroll to get that certificate for my LinkedIn profile.
Right, you can throw that on your email signature and people will be
Yeah,
like, whoa,
yeah.
whoa, I'm gonna pay you $510 for a poem now.
It's like yeah, you're scrolling through resumes and then someone's like, "Oh, wait, hang on. This guy did a master class."
He
Wait,
watched all of the videos.
wait. This guy watched a master class with Patty Lapone. All right. Yeah, Shakespeare's my guy, my poet today. Who'd you bring?
My guest poet is a Colorado poet who is a professor at UC Boulder
Fantastic.
named Julie Carr.
I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about, or you want to read me a poem?
I want to read you a poem.
All right. Well,
I'll get mine out of the way.
this is the show for that.
What a great show for this. A theory of every. Time stops at the speed of light. Cooking noodles, frying tofu. Being light is being everywhere at once. If light slows down, it becomes heavy. Time starts at the speed of heavy. Clocks start ticking. Maps get plotted. Calendars sold. Now there's time to plan and there are places to go. The gravity of digestion, the weight on the ankles. Gravity is heavy on a map at a time. Midnight and sunrise, toilet and shower, sex and sleep. Motion is so heavy. Strawberries and children and blood and birth and death. As far as light knows, it's the one eternal photon. It's always home. Heavy knows exhalation, the longing for home, the grief, the delight, and the gravity of bodies in motion.
What was the line? Light becomes heavy. It was maybe the in the first three or four lines.
If light slows down, it
Light
becomes
slows
heavy.
down, it becomes heavy. What's that mean?
What does that mean?
I love it.
Well, yeah, I love pondering like science stuff. And
Right.
well, yeah, it all started from like this idea that, well, which I guess is true. I don't know. I'm not, but as it's relativity,
Mm-hmm.
and as things go faster, then they experience time more slowly. So at the speed of light, you don't experience any time.
Right.
And to me, everything just breaks down there. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't, like it could mean there's only one photon. Uh,
Mm.
or anything moving at the speed of light, you only need one of them. Like, what if there's just one electron in the universe? And since it doesn't have any time, it's everywhere. The same electron that just sent the signal back through a computer across the country to you in Atlanta. It's the same electron powering your lights. And it's just
Beautiful. Time is the only God.
time's the only God. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's crazy how those few words have like dictated my life.
Yeah, I lean.
We came up with them.
I know. I lean on that idea a lot. This is Sonnet 30 by William Shakespeare. When to the sessions of sweet silent thought I summon up remembrance of things past, I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes new wail my dear time's waste. Then can I drown an eye unused to flow for precious friends hid in death's dateless night, and weep afresh love's long since cancelled woe, and moan the expense of many a vanished sight. Then can I grieve at grievances foregone, and heavily from woe to woe tell o'er the sad account of fore bemoaned moan, which I new pay as if not paid before. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end.
Man,
yeah, I love which I knew pay as if not paid before.
yeah, that's the one that really hit me too.
That one hit me that time.
Like how many times am I going to?
How many times do I have to cry about this one thing?
Yeah. All of the times, apparently.
Each and every time. That's what that thing is. Who's your guest poet, Paul?
My guest poet is Julie Carr.
Is that Carr?
Yeah, with 2 R's. Sure. And she comes to me by way of Denver's vibrant art scene.
Yes.
Where they just throw magazines in various restaurants if you go to the right restaurants. And if you're someone who is still got a penchant for picking up weird looking collections of paper and taking them home, then you might have found this poet. But she also teaches at UC Boulder. So yeah, this is Julie Carr. I don't know who tied these knots. We've been complaining about the same thing for as long as we've been complaining, which is long. The boy lowers himself to the floor and on his knees jumps. I wanted to write a poem to the future unborn, whose air I've been using. To write a poem to my dead mother, whose air I've also been using. At her stone, on her birthday, we talked about landlords. The hills held new corpses. Winged ants swarmed a name. It was fall. I needed sunglasses. My son was excited about the sky. After you, says a young man with low boots to an old one in a coat. It was good to be born, at least at first, says a woman with a 4-footed stick. She makes her masked way, her silver earrings sway. I hiked a hard trail and sat on a ridge. No amount of sweat or view seemed to ask me to live, but with them, I washed my face.
What's the title of that?
I don't know who tied these knots.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that was the title. I thought that was just the first line. Is it also the first line?
That's a good point. No, it's not. Yeah, the title of this is I don't know who tied these knots. And it's not in title case. So it is bolded and spaced so that there's a line of blank space between it and the body which
Mm-hmm.
is I'm really fascinated with the idea of how does something become a poem.
Mm-hmm.
And with the sonnet you just read, of course, a sonnet has in the end like pretty tight rules about what's happening with the syntax and the cadence and the number of syllables in a line. And I deeply respect all of that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very powerful. And then also when I like this by Julie Carr. Her other poems that I've seen too are similar, where she has some very long lines.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I try to I have a rule in my head, like if there's more than 10 syllables, I'm probably writing an essay. But
Yeah.
she does very long lines and surprising spacing that feels like I got tricked into reading a poem.
Yeah.
Um,
I like that. I got tricked into reading a poem. What I was thinking just now while I was pretending to listen to you was I have two that are very apropos with much of what we've been talking about already.
I want to hear both your poems though.
Yeah, I do want to read both of them. Yeah. Okay. This is a poem I wrote about a friend of mine who's no longer with us named Davy.
Hmm.
This is called Silent Subway Bit. You aren't here to ask, which is not okay. On a packed subway, we could see each other over others' heads. You made me laugh with a silent bit, reading a book so everyone sees how smart you are. God, it was funny. Because of the book title, and I can't remember, and I can't text you, but I wanted you to know I remember the silent subway bit. It was the funniest fucking
Beautiful.
thing. It was the funniest thing. We were we must have been on our way from his apartment in Brooklyn into the city or vice versa. Subway's packed. You know, there's maybe like 5 to 10 people between us once everyone's in there, once everyone gets situated, and he was holding onto a pole and we made eye contact and he pulled out his book, which, imagine it's like, Karl Marx or something. It's just, imagine just something smart. And he just made a face like looking around, like, everyone look at how smart I am. And it was just for me. Oh my God, it was so funny. This is called Breakup Song. I'll remember the smell of onions, the good kind that lingers after cooking. I'll remember the sound of the rain, edge of the Louisiana hurricane, echoes from the gutters, tires spinning through pavement sound heavier from hurricane. I'll remember when the home screen switched to screensaver, the we both shared. Low power mode, who cares? A jolt of silence as an air conditioner stops spinning and slicing the drops. I'll remember the breeze coming through the screen of the window, the goosebumps on our legs, the rain smell. Have we been what, been fighting? Have we been, well, this is hard. We know how we fight with what we don't say. I thought we were good. It's better that we're tired. Enjoy this time. No, you say the words we apparently avoid to allay. Words like over, end, last, or goodbye. No ouch, no pinch. Oh well, so we tried. It's still raining. I know. I did it again. Did what? Interrupted the I remember a thing. No, it's fuck that. No, it was nice. May I try? I'll remember I helped you. Is that okay? Are you crying? I'm crying. Is that allowed? Can that be one of the results of a star that exploded once? We can cry and breathe because of that star, stupid fucking star. I'll remember us laughing. When I can't laugh, I'll think of us. Poof. Cured. Now, just breathe and cry.
Inspired by the breeze, we'll sing a song of gratitude.